Hey friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another behind the scenes here in the Excellent Example community over here in Patreon. Welcome. So today's guest is Erica Ballard. Erica is a healthy living expert and one of my dearest friends. She's actually the holistic nutritionist that I use in my one-on-one coaching. She is the bomb. I love her. And Erica and I met in Indianapolis when I had my short little stint there. And we like to say that I moved to Indianapolis just so I could meet Erica. Erica is somebody I talk to almost every single day. She has been an integral part of me growing my business. I've been an integral part of her growing her business. She is one of my nearest and dearest. And I hope that we are not humongous goon burgers on this call. I hope you find some value. I'm just kidding. There's so much value in there. But if you are looking to chat about food fundamentals, to chat about stress, to chat about exercise, to chat about healing your gut, all of that is in here, and I hope you enjoy. Oh, also, don't forget, if you want to join Erica's Food Fundamentals, snag a spot before June 12th and use code HUMAN15 and you will get 15% off. To the pod. So Erica, I already gave your professional bio, but in your own words, who are you and what do you do?
Oh, who am I? I feel like that's like a really big question. So I am a healthy living expert and coach. And what that means is I help people figure out the foods and habits that help them live their best life. I usually work with working professionals. So I use, food to help them up productivity and focus. And I guess I would say I'd specialize in gut health and sustainable weight loss and stress management because who doesn't need that?
Yes. Did you have to specialize in gut health, stress management, productivity, all that shit because you realized that you were not doing those things?
Well, of course. That's how you get into anything.
Wait, okay. So before you say all that, I just want to do a quick fire so people know who you are. So where did you grow up in the world?
Oh, that's not an easy answer. So I'm a military brat. So I've lived multiple places. Landed in Indiana at like 15.
Okay, awesome. And then you went to the East Coast for like a decade, and then now you're back in Indiana.
Yep.
Love it. Okay. When you were a child, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Oh, a marine biologist.
A marine biologist. Why?
I like to this day, I love an aquarium. Like I love an aquarium. So that's why.
What did or do your parents do?
So, God, what the hell do they do? So my dad was the mayor of Indianapolis, which was pretty cool. So first he was a military guy for 23 years, then wasn't, and then woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm going to run for office. And then he did, and then he won, which shocked everyone except for him and my mom. And so now he's a consultant for Guggenheim and is writing a book on the importance of green energy from the Republican standpoint, and just working at UND. So you think that these are easy questions. So that's what my dad does. And my mom is a bookkeeper. So, and an awesome mom. Yeah.
Very cool. Are you an only child? This is dumb asking these questions because I already know the answers to all of them when it's my friend. But okay, tell the people, are you an only child?
No, I'm an Irish twin. I have a brother. His name's Greg, and he lives in your neck of the woods in LA.
Yes, he does. What did you go to school for if you went to school at all?
I went to school multiple times. I went to school for journalism, and I got a history minor. I did use that, and I still use that. And I also got my master's at Tufts Medical in health communication and behavior change.
How are you using your history minor?
Not history, journalism.
Oh, journalism minor.
But I feel like I'm using history all the time because the idea is like to take information that was like, information that we've learned back in the day and actually use it relevant for now and to like learn the lessons. So I feel like everyone's constantly using history, and if they're not, they should be.
Interesting. Okay. Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much for getting us up to speed. So now you live in Indianapolis. We met when I did my stint in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And then I just took your soul with me. You kept my soul there. So you were a hardcore East Coaster. You worked in public health.
Yep.
In Boston.
I sure did. And in DC. I worked in like communications and in public health in Boston and DC.
Awesome.
HIV/AIDS, also home health devices, so like oxygen tanks and stuff. Yeah, been around the gamut with health.
Wow. Okay, so then at this time you were a gym rat, counting calories, doing all of the regular health shit that everybody thinks that you're supposed to do to be healthy.
Yes.
Where did your breakdown for your breakthrough come in?
So it actually didn't really come through until I came to Indiana, which is like hilarious for so many reasons, because that means that for 10 years I was just trying to do all the things. So like I swam, and you're like naturally bigger when you swim because you're muscular and you're working your ass off and you're trying to get yourself through. I listen to your podcast. You can cuss. I was like starting to say it, and I was like, no, I already listen. I know I can do this. So then I stopped swimming and lost some weight, and that was all good and great. And then I went to college, which is just, you gain some weight back. And I started to work out, and I lost a little bit of weight there too when I was working out. And then I moved to DC, and I was like, oh shit, like I'll just keep working out. This will be really, really great. And I did transform my body to a point, and then it just stopped. And I got really confused because when you work out and like when you work with trainers and you do that, most of them are like calorie in, calorie out. Here's what you want to be paying attention to. Like eat the chicken breast and the broccoli. And I was like, Jesus, I don't want to eat the chicken breast and the broccoli because it's not that good. But then, then I wasn't like getting what I wanted. And so I kept doing it and trying to get harder on myself to do it or work out even more. But I was like a total psychopath and like stressed out person. So working out more actually was working out against me. And I didn't get it, but I kept like doubling down because I'm like a high achiever. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm just going to sleep less. I'm going to do the things. And like, it just kept going. And it was so damn frustrating. And then I moved back to Indianapolis and was able to take a beat and like calm down. And this thing, like the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, like just started following me around. And I did it because I was like unhappy at my job at the time. And I was like, go learn, because if I learn, then I'm happy, because I'm an overachiever and a learner. It's a really wonderful combo. And what I started to learn was like how our food was grown and made and the importance of quality and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh shit. And then how to calm down, and how like me working out too hard on top of a stressed out body was actually working against me. And so I started to implement practices of me actually slowing down and paying attention to where my food's from. And I swear to God, like, I can't even believe it. Like 10 pounds dropped without me trying. I stopped getting bloated. And like, I was a better human being because I really like was so crazy. All I would do was think about food all the time. And I was so obsessed, and I was just, it was awful to be in my own head. And then when that happened, when I like just took a moment to find the education that actually made sense, it all got so much easier.
Oh my gosh, that's the trap that we're in, right? It's how shitty can your life be if you can't even live in your own body? To be awful in your own head, that's horrible. Okay, I love that. So you also mentioned that a stressed out body is not conducive to a stressful workout. Can you explain more about that?
Yeah, so this is what I run into all the time is I'll see clients and they'll be like, if I just worked out a little bit more, if I just did a little bit more, and it's like, well, what working out does is it mimics stress. And so since you're mimicking stress, it's allowing you to understand the stress, like how to handle stress when it comes into your body. But if you're already a stressed out person, then you're not actually learning how to deal with stress. You're just adding more stress to the problem. And when you're overstressed, your body then doesn't like magically start to take care of itself. It overcompensates, or it doesn't overcompensate. It starts to become negative and just hurt you in the process. So you become overstressed, your cortisol shoots out, you start to hold on more weight. Your body's like, oh my God, she might die. Look what's happening. And so it's totally against you. And it's so stupid, but that's what we're all taught to do, because I have a theory. Have I told you my theory on this? I feel like I've had to tell you my theory.
Tell me again. Tell all of us.
Is that I feel like people think working out's the answer because we're so used to seeing people in gym clothes. Like you're not used to seeing the people who are fit walking in and out of the gym eat their food. You're only used to seeing them like being in their yoga.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is what, because that's the trigger, right? Like it's just a big trigger for people. So I'm like, we all think if I just worked out a little bit more, I could look like her, him. Really, that person had like other things going on, or has like, is a different constitution than you in general.
Totally. Yeah, that's also an amazing point, is we're trying to follow this blueprint for every body when we all have a different body. We're literally infinitely different than our neighbor sitting next to us.
Like, I was just writing something today, and there really is a reason keto works for your best friend and not for you. Mm-hmm. Like, it isn't like, oh, I failed. It's no, she or he has a different body than you. Like, men kill it on keto. Mm-hmm. Men kill it on keto. Women don't do that great with intermittent fasting, but no one really talks about that, right? And so we all have different constitutions, different makeups. We need different things. We have different lives. And yes, there's like basic fundamentals and guidelines, but you have to find the right thing for you. And the way you do that is to listen to your body. And we become so disconnected with our own bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. And the more that we fill up on junk, the more we're disconnected.
I literally ended with a client yesterday, and she was like, I can't even believe how much has changed in 3 months by just changing my diet. I'm like, mm-hmm. It really is often that simple of a formula. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know that people listening are thinking, okay, yeah, but I don't want to have this massive shift where I need to clean out all my cupboards and change every single thing I put in my body. I don't have to teach my children how to eat all these new foods and battle with them
Yeah.
Can you clear up that misconception that it's this massive overhaul?
Yeah. It's like anything. It's baby steps. Like, you didn't go to the gym, correction. Most people go to the gym initially, work out too hard, and then die and can't go back for a long time. Right. Yes. That's what most people do. Don't do that. Be the other person. Like, just take one step forward at every single time, because it's just any other behavior change formula. So if you want to eat healthy, you don't have to go like clean out your pantry, buy only organic, and like only feed your kid like a chicken that had a name with it, right? Like, you don't have to do that type of stuff. Like, what you want to do is you want to just pick one thing you can do that day, maybe up to 3, and then execute that for the next couple of weeks. And when you feel really steady with that behavior, then you add on, because what people forget is you just kind of turn back and you're like, I'm a healthy person. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like it all happens at one time. You just all of a sudden are walking and you realize that you picked the fruit instead of the candy bar when you were at the store, and are like, that's who I am now.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay. So then I'm guessing that people are saying, okay, but isn't that going to take so long from just chipping away?
Yeah. I mean, no, but I mean, yes, that's what they say, but no, I just told you, like, a client changed in 3 months. Like, yeah, she still has to work at it, but and even if it is 3 years, what is 3 years over 30? Like, I'm terrible with, I know I'm Asian, but I'm terrible with like on the fly math, but like 3 out of 30, like, come on, it's fine. Or if it's like 2 years out of 60, or because you don't have to, it's not like 30 is the cap of getting healthy. You can get healthy whenever you want. So people will say that, but it pays off, and it's really like a drop in the hat when you think about it. And I don't even know how it's May or June. I don't even know what month it is right now. And it was January yesterday. So
yeah, the time passes whether you're going to utilize it or not.
Yeah.
Also, there's this amazing extra benefit called you fucking feel better. So it's not a punishment. You feel amazing.
So this is the thing. Okay. So when people are like, hey, how can you be so healthy? Like, so I'm gluten-free, not by choice. Like, I really am. Like, it hurts my stomach. And the first thing everyone says to me is, but I love bread. How do you live without bread? I'm like, one, you're so inconsiderate. Like, who says like to an alcoholic, man, but I really love wine. You're really missing wine. Would you like some wine? And I'm like, what type of weird thing are you doing right now? But I don't eat gluten and I give up bread because the moment that I eat it, I feel terrible. Mm-hmm. And like, that's what happens when you put sugar in your body for the first time after like 2 weeks of it without. Like, healthy, quote unquote, healthy people, the reason they don't eat that way is, one, they don't really crave it, but when they do, their body smacks them in the face so hard that like when I eat a bunch of sugar, I get a hangover. Mm-hmm. And I don't get like the 5 hours of fun that come with like a wine hangover. I get like 20 minutes of eating a couple cupcakes and I'm like, and out like an hour later.
Yeah. So I fall asleep like on the spot.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's crazy.
Okay, so you're so much more than a health coach. You also work a ton on mindset with your clients. What the hell does mindset have to do with health?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the answer is everything. It's everything. Everyone will be like, I don't have a food story. I'm like, bullshit, you have a food story. Because we all have food stories. And so for a lot of us, like the reason we eat the things we want or the reason we're so attached to bread or whatever it is there's always something deeper down. Like, because at the end of the day, it's just a piece of bread. Why is this so important to you? Like, why do you feel like you have to give it up? Or you can't give it up? And so what I work with clients on is to help them understand what it means, like what that piece of bread means to them, what that sugar signifies, um, why they're so attached to continuing the status quo, even when they don't think that they are. Because like a good example, I guess, is I have people I've worked with in the past where, you know, they really hate change, like super hate change. So if you change your diet, you're going to change your outward appearance. And when you change your outward appearance, people approach you differently. And then you can't, quote unquote, be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So they hold on to the weight because then they have to shift and they have to change and they have to move forward with what they want to, because they're just scared. It's like a defense mechanism. So these weird things that people are like, no way, that's not true. But I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, my food story is fitting in. So
Yeah, I was going to ask you next. Yeah,
yeah.
what was your food story?
So I wanted to fit in. So I love wine. Like, listen, I'm not the health coach that's going to tell you like, don't drink wine. I had some rosé this past weekend. I definitely had wine last night. So I love it, but I used to drink a lot of it and I used to like eat a lot of food that I didn't really like for my body, but I did it because like, that's what everyone did. You go out to happy hours and you have these things. And I didn't know how to say no because I didn't want to be the weird one. I really wanted to fit in with everybody. I wanted to make sure that, you know, people liked me. And so I did those things. I didn't really start to put that connection together for a really long time. But once I did, I'm able now to catch the story because you know this from what you do. It's not like this stuff goes away. It just becomes more apparent. And then you get to say like, hey, thanks for being here.
Yeah, Toads, this is your friend who's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see you. Did you also use it to think that if you had the perfect body, then you'd be more accepted?
So I wonder about that. And I don't think I did about like the perfect body per se, because a lot of the people because I worked a corporate job, or I worked like a 9 to 5, and it wasn't so important to have the perfect body so much as to be able to hang at the dinners, to be around the networking, to like, because you were always the weird one when you didn't have the drink and you couldn't connect then with whoever you were selling whatever to. So I think I wanted the perfect body, but I don't think it was to fit in. I think it was, I think I just was trying to, I thought that that's what health meant. I thought that was health, not necessarily that would get me to fit in.
Yeah. More a function of your achiever side of you. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So I think my food story was this feeling that being attractive meant that that's your most forefront quality. And that has always is like living in New York City, working in the industry, the entertainment industry. Even now, getting meetings with people in this industry, it's a lot easier to get a meeting if you are an attractive person and who's single, especially with powerful men. I still run into that now, and it fucking pisses me off. And so I feel like a lot of my rebellion when I would gain weight, it'd be like my big fuck you to everyone, to be like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to get really fucking fat. And you're going to have to like me because I'm smart and because I bring more to the table than just like a nice booty.
Yeah, I think
what I did realize though is that didn't really work out in my favor, because then I was insecure and then I couldn't be that person.
Yeah.
But just changing those metrics and knowing like, no, actually, no, I get fit not because I need you to sexualize me and deem me worthy, but because I feel my best there. And then also like when we feel really good, then we can infiltrate all of these areas. And even if we get in for the wrong reasons from somebody else, we still get to bring our brains and our enthusiasm and our charisma to the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I tell a lot of people and a lot of coaches that I work with is like, I'm the first step to the bigger why, or the bigger purpose, because I feel like without the confidence, and it's not just from your looking, but like literally feeling good and knowing that it's a possible thing to continue this feeling, it really opens up so much in people. And we have these like weird stories all around food all the time, and we just don't think that we do, but it's because we're so scared to go in because it's going to hurt too much to get onto the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Can you walk us through how somebody listening could figure out what their food story is? Like, what are some of the questions that you ask people to lead them there?
Yeah. It's funny when you ask that, because like, it's really, the question is like, why? Like,
Yeah.
you just ask why until you get to the very end. So the way it could look like is, let's say it's like Friday night and you are starting to eat cupcakes and you don't want to. Like, you have them, you don't know why, but you have them.
Yeah.
And you start to eat them and you don't know why. And you're literally like, because I don't know if you've ever done this, but like, you're eating something, you're like, why the fuck am I eating this?
Yep.
I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing it. And I want to stop, but I can't stop. And then you just like, you literally put it down and just say, why am I eating this? And if it's like, it tastes good. Okay. Why does it taste good? Well, it tastes good because whatever, because, I'm hungry and actually, because I'm bored. Okay. Well, why are you bored? I'm bored because I don't want to be here on a Friday night. Okay. Well, why don't you want to be here on a Friday night? I don't want to be here on a Friday night because I'd rather be out with friends. All right. Well, why aren't you out with friends? I'm not out with friends because I don't feel comfortable,
Yes.
putting myself out there. Okay. Well, why not? And then you just keep diving until you get the actual root of it. And that's how you do it. It's like, for so many of the tools that we teach, it's so simple. The work is just a little hard, but when you get to like the final why, you realize one of two things. One, it's silly, right? It's not true. Or two, it is true. And then you got to go do something about it.
I think that's what we're afraid of.
Yeah.
If I figure out what it is, then it's going to have a name and then I'm going to have to do something about it.
Yeah. But I don't know why I like, logically, I know why it's scary. Like I've been there, but it's the most freeing thing in the world, because the moment you start to like tackle what you're afraid of, like the world opens up, like the path starts to just like magically appear. Yeah. So I get it, but it's not as hard as we make it out to be, because like we've all Kardashian cried over something so stupid. So why don't you like use your ugly cry face for something that's really, really, really important to you? You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, I like that a lot. So what are some of the most common food stories that come through your office?
So the change thing's huge. The parent thing, it's like,
ooh, what do parents and food have to do with one another?
So, I think I'm like, let me see. So with parents, there's often people often project their food stories onto you, right? And so like I have a lot of clients whose mom want them to be thinner, or whose mom is thin and doesn't quite understand why they're thin. Or I have another one whose mom is completely obsessed with food. It's all she can think about. And so they want it to be the opposite. So like, that's a good example. Is I have a person, and he is amazing, and he's super, super, super structured and can accomplish anything. And then like owns his own business, has like 30 plus employees, blah, blah, blah. And he can't get his life together on food, quote unquote. But when we started to dig in, it was because his mom and dad are so obsessed with food on two polar opposites. One being was a bulimic, the other is like morbidly obese. He's like, I'm not going to be anything like them. And so he stopped caring about or loving or loving food, depending on the situation. And so we're backtracking that to be like, okay, well, we're eating food to serve you, not as like a big F you, right? And so working that story. And I have another woman whose mom's always like is thin and just always makes those like comments. And it's like similar to you with the meetings with people in this industry and other folks, is like, well, screw you, mom. I'm gonna look the way I want to look. Like it's like, you don't want to look that way, not in a negative way, just like you really don't. Like she does not like the way she looks. So I'm like, we don't need to throw our hands up at our mom because you're 50. Like,
yeah, right. Don't cut your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? What is that phrase? Like revenge is like drinking the poison and thinking the other person will die.
Yeah, Totally. Okay. So your work is you're bringing people to be empowered choosers based on their own desires, and they're introduced to their own desires because they can finally fucking hear what they are because they're not all clogged up on old stories and shitty food.
Yep. That's it.
Love it. Okay. What are like 2 things that people can do right now? Easy tweaks that are like right under their nose that could make a big shift.
Sorry, it's raining here, and I was like, did I turn on the kettle? So 2 easy things that they can do right now. I think, let me think about this because I want it to be very tangible and possible. Okay, the first thing I think that they should do is they should ask themselves, what's one thing I can change right now to improve my diet or, food? Whatever it is, write it out because you know the answer. Everyone knows the answer. And it will be different for everyone. Write it out and then try to execute on that for the next couple weeks. So, all right, what is it? I had a woman say, cut out fast food. All right, what does that look like in a way that you can actually execute, and then go try to do that. So I think that's number one. And then the other one, and this is going to sound silly because I want it to be unique to the person, but I just want you to drink water. Like, just drink water. Because I have a theory that, my other theory is that if people drank water and slept for 7 hours, we'd have world peace. So that's
8 hours. 7.5 hours.
7 to 9 hours.
I'm so sad if I only get 7 hours of sleep. I have to get at least 7.5.
Okay. I'm at 7, but like 7 to 9. So I think it's drinking water and then picking the one thing that they know that they can do and then executing against it for 2 weeks and then just measuring it. How'd I do? Where do I want to improve? And then going from there. Because to your point earlier about the metrics, like we're not striving for perfection here.
Yeah.
We're striving for just movement because perfection is just another way to like, it's just another story. It's another way just to feel like a failure.
Right. And the tracking isn't necessarily to say, okay, you won and you were good. It's to say, oh my gosh, I did make these tweaks and I do feel better. Like actually let yourself in on the game.
Yeah. We all want to just get to a point where we're just eating and we're just drinking. Like we don't want to have to be like having any of this stuff in our head. And these are the practice tools for you just to be like, oh, I just like drank, 2 bottles of water. Cool. Like these are the tools that get you there. Yes. And it's like, it's not rocket science. I wish it was, because then I would feel better about all the degrees I have, but like the money I spent to get them. But it's just like, hey, these small things will get you to where you want to be.
I love it. Okay. You have something special for our Patreon people. Would you like to share what that is?
Yes, for Patreon people, I have a Food Fundamentals. It's coming out. I'm doing it live. So I have this like 3-part video series that I like love, and it's so fun. It's called Food Fundamentals: What, When, and How to Eat. And I walk you through the fundamentals of food. It's the name. And I have a couple other bonuses, but it's just like things that people don't really talk about. And I'm going to go live. I'm going to do it live.
Yay! Okay, this is for everyone though, not just Patreon people.
Okay, sorry.
This is for everyone.
This is for everyone. And if you guys want to come join me, it'll be 6 weeks of me, and I'm pulling in other friends to talk, and then also to provide like real time, just real time support, real time guidance. So it's called Food Fundamentals Live. It'll launch June 12th, and if you use the code HUMAN15, you'll get 15% off.
Love it. Okay, that's for everyone. Okay, for Patreon people, can you teach us the first 2 steps to healing your gut?
Okay, sorry, I knew this. For Patreon people, okay, so here's the thing. 90% of our immunity sits in our gut, 70 to 90%, like whatever study you look at. And then when you think about that too, like 70 to 90% of our serotonin sit in our gut. So as you can imagine, your gut is like super important. You want it to be at its best in order to move you forward. But a healthy gut, like I said in the beginning, is key to your immunity. So you want to really help heal it. And you want to help heal it. The best way to help heal it is through diet. I mean, we often talk about probiotics, and I'll get into it, but there's 2 steps that really will get you far ahead in like healing your gut if you're having trouble with like bowel movements, because I swear to God, that's all I talk about. But like bowel, GI, bloating, these are the things you want to do. So the best thing you can do to right off the bat is to try a paleo reset. So it's almost like the Whole30, but like if it doesn't work in a couple weeks, like 1 to 2, like it's not going to work for you and you got to try something else. So it goes like this. First 2 weeks, do a paleo diet, right? So cut out the beans, the dairy, the processed food, the sugar. Once you do that, if you're feeling better, keep it up for another couple weeks. If you're not feeling better, you want to get on either the autoimmune paleo, which basically means no nightshades, and try that. If that's still not working, like a week or 2 later, then you're going to get on a really restrictive diet. I do the SCD, but like, yeah, the low, what did you say?
FODMAP?
Yeah, FODMAP. I always want to call it food map, but I know that there's not an extra O in there. FODMAP. Then you want to do that, and then you should be feeling a lot better. So you want to be in this range. So we want to do whichever one makes the most sense. Hit the thing that makes the most sense. Do it for about a month. If you're feeling way better, that's it. You've basically healed your gut. If you're at like 90% better, you've healed your gut. If you're any less than 90%, I would recommend 2 things. So 1, you want to add in the probiotic. So you want to start taking a probiotic, ideally like multiple probiotics. So one that's soil based, and then also your traditional like lactobacillus probiotic. And you want to take that for about a couple weeks. I would even go up to a month, do that. And then add in either one of 2, digestive enzymes or bitters. Digestive bitters are my new favorite thing. So you're going to add in digestive bitters. So you take that before you eat to like help turn on the digestive like track in you, because when you take in a toxin, your body goes into overdrive and tries to spill it out, which means all of your stuff's on. So you take the digestive bitters before you eat, and you do that 3 times. If that doesn't work for whatever reason, because it works for 85% of people, if you're like, this isn't making a difference, and you'll know it's making a difference, again, I'm sorry, Tori, but by your bowels will tell you if
I love talking about poop.
Okay, that's all I swear it's all I talk about. So if your bowels are great, keep with the bitters, keep with the probiotic, do that for like another month. Start to wean off on that after a month and see where you're at and where you want to be, and if you need to add more or less. If the bitters don't work, you go by digestive enzymes. And so the digestive enzymes are actually putting digestive enzymes into your system, because you already have them. And what the bitters does is it wakes
activates
up
them.
Activates them, whereas the digestive enzyme actually adds them in. So I love these things. I think picking the right diet, doing that for a month, adding in bitters, digestive enzymes, and probiotics for a month, you should be done in 2 months. You should be totally fine, and then you're just gonna have to get onto a maintenance program. So what that looks like for me is, it's Memorial Day weekend, right? Last weekend. Is that means I'm taking bitters. Even though I'm a healthy person, even though my diet's on point, I'm going to be taking bitters and probiotics because I know I'm eating a little bit worse than I normally would. Mm-hmm. And then that's your maintenance plan. And then I come off when I'm back on the diet that I want to be and where I want to feel. And then you just kind of move from there about like what that looks like. So
2 questions. Yeah, that's a brilliant. Okay, 2 questions. One, you think that not everybody needs to be on prebiotics and probiotics?
Oh, yeah. Screw that. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Like, this is the shit that makes me, okay. Sorry. I had a very visceral reaction. Okay. Let me calm down. No, not everyone needs to be on a probiotic. Like, we have decided that this is like the next big thing. And like, I'm going to cure everything with a probiotic. No, your food matters so much more than a probiotic, because you don't necessarily want to be feeding bacteria that isn't good in your system. Right. So we're like, probiotics, you wait list. And I love a probiotic and I love a prebiotic if your gut's ready for it. What's really going to cure you is your food. It always goes back to food. There is no fucking magic pill. So I say that because a probiotic's often pill. But yeah, you do no. Once you're where you want to be, then you can, once you're where you need to be, like, I would wean off of it and I would move into like I have this happen to be here, like a kombucha or like prop. Not really. Just Nick was really nice and got it for me. And just do that every couple of days.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, my next question is, so say somebody had to go really dramatic to heal their gut and they're like in FODMAP land, which is pretty limited in terms of what food you can eat. How, once they've healed the gut, and now they're on the maintenance plan, or they're like in maintenance mode, in reintroducing foods? Are they introducing them one at a time? Are they just jumping back in? Like, now is their gut healed and they can go back to the other stuff? Or like, what's the protocol?
Yeah. So what you said, the former is right. So you want to add in one thing at a time. Like in a perfect world, right? You're eating. This isn't some like beautiful, amazing diet when you start with, right? But you want to be adding in minimal things so you can start to see if that's the thing that gives you the reaction.
Right.
So if you've been on that diet and you want to add back in, say like, I think cauliflower's off of it. So you want to add in cauliflower, then you try that. You don't do like a cauliflower medley with like spinach, carrots, and all the stuff. You just add the cauliflower and like one form of fat, see where that is, see how it reacts. And if it's good, then great, you can keep adding it in and try new things. So it's one at a time. And I think the really important point too is like, do this periodically, right? Like you're healing your gut, so you're going to be able to eat more food as you go down the line. So do this the first time when we're introduced, then stop by like 2 to 6 months later, try the thing again, and then keep building. Cause I think you'd surprise yourself. Cause once your gut is healed, like you can eat so much more than you could beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, Erica, you cannot escape the jar of walls.
Okay.
We have some prompts in here from previous guests. Some are dumb that I'll pretend I didn't pull them.
Okay.
And before you go, you got to add a prompt.
Okay.
Okay, what is the most ridiculous fact you know?
It's like I've lost all my facts. Like,
Freddie Kimmel put that one in there. Of course he did. And he shared a fact about whale penises.
Of course Freddie knows a fact about whale penises. Because we're talking about just the justice fertility method. So I didn't know. I'm sorry, guys. Like I'm learning about my body too. Is that my cervix opens and closes? Fact. It's physically.
I do know that.
Once it's not ready to like when it's like no baby for you, or like it shuts and like semen whatever can't get in. Even more,
there's a big plug of mucus in the way.
That's how it closes, and then there's and then it's a tangly web, so that it gets completely lost in it. My other fact is I didn't realize my ovaries were the size of an almond.
I didn't actually know the size of my ovaries either.
An almond.
Yeah, wow.
That is 90% of your estrogen.
It's crazy. Did you know, do you track like, okay, so Erica's on like a fertility tracking bend. That's why she's talking about this right now.
Yeah.
And I am actually certified in Billings ovulation method, which is like the same thing, but I haven't thought about it in so long. Thank you, Erica, for bringing up vaginal mucus. So do you also feel like now I notice like, oh, I'm ovulating from my right this month and I feel it like hurting on the right. And then the next month it will be on the left.
So no, but I look forward to that day.
Yes.
Because I've only been doing it for like a week and I'm just like, my mind is still trying to wrap my head around how all of this works because I know my thyroid's off from being on birth control for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off of it. So it's like, I'm not even right. Like I'm all about the women's movement. I think everyone should have sex with whoever they want, in whatever form they want, blah, 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 blah. But man, birth control is really fucked up. And I'm like,
I know.
Like also like Amazon can drop a package with a drone in my house, like to my house in like a day. And yet we can't figure out how to have non-hormonal birth control. Get out of here.
Like, I know. No, that's a big dumb lie. Everybody, okay, this tracking system that Erica's talking about, and we'll link the book that you're reading so people know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Basically, you're just tuning to your own cycle and you're going to be able to identify very clearly, okay, I'm ovulating this day. So that means I cannot have semen in me 2 days prior and 2 days after. And that's it. That is it. You cannot get pregnant the whole time during your cycle. Like there are definitive factors. So I remember a fact from when I was doing the certification that there are women in other countries, I'm really sorry, I can't remember this, but they stand in water up to their belly button as part of their job. And so they're still able to track the mucus that comes out of them each day to a 94% success rate. No, 94% success rate in not getting pregnant.
I believe it.
And they're illiterate too. Women who cannot read, cannot write, have no education, stand in water up to their belly button. So you would think that that would mess with something, and they can still track to a 94% success rate their ovulation and not get pregnant.
Like, okay, so this is the thing, is we become so disconnected with our body.
Yes.
Like, the smarter you get, the more disconnected you come with her, like come from,
Yes.
like, come from your body. Like, I know this happened to me. I see it with clients all the time. They're these brilliant, hardworking, like business execs and CEOs. They're like, no, because it's crazy for your body to be talking to you. But I'm like, a gut feeling comes from your gut. Why wouldn't you trust on the rest of your body? Like, I don't understand. It like really bugs me. But we become so disconnected, and I'm like, if you could just, like, I can tell when food hits wrong. Like, I know, like, if within like 2 seconds, I can tell if I'm eating too fast, or like if this isn't going to work well for me, or whatever it is. But with my feminine organs, my cervix, vagina, all that stuff, I just completely disconnected, because it hasn't truly been on for like, I don't know, like 12 years. And now that I'm learning about it, I'm like I told you before we started this,
it's like a whole universe down there.
I'm like, sex ed failed us. Like,
it did. It really did.
If I knew you could only get pregnant during like 6 days of the month, 5 days, depending on how long your cycle is, I'm like, or your whole thing, I'm like,
I know. I know. It's crazy. I got off of birth control. It took 3 full years for me to get a period, and 2 more years on top of that for my period to be regular. Really does fuck with us. Not, and we're not giving anybody medical advice. We're just saying you got to tune into your own vagina. Okay. Erica, next question.
Yes,
okay. What is something that's really popular now that in 5 years is just going to be so silly?
I wanted to say Snapchat, but that's not silly.
Okay, wait, what are we doing? We do the dumbest freaking things right now. I mean, like, you remember like chat roulette, stuff like that. I guess I keep thinking of technology things. Can you think of like a health one that's so silly now that people are into?
I like birth control. Health things. I think that I'm really hopeful that in 5 years, because of all the stuff coming out with keto and fat, that like the low fat movement just dies. I also would love, I know it will be around in a few years, but like aspartame and fake sugar, would love if that would just.
Okay, that's a really good one. I hope in 5 years we look back and we go, wait, what? We put that in our body. It created holes in our brain, but we still thought that it was worth it to consume.
To lose weight. We still thought it was worth it to lose weight.
Lose weight versus holes in your brain. Insane. Okay, last one. Cake or pie?
Oh, cake.
That one's hard for me. I don't know. I really love pie crust.
I love a white pie. Or not a white pie, a white cake. Like, I love, but you can understand, like, I don't often get cake. Like, you can't make a good gluten-free cake. You can make like a good inside of a pie. Gluten-free pie, you don't need flour. But like a really good piece of cake. It's been a while.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, what question would you like to add to this jar? You didn't really get any ridiculous ones, but there are like, what's the craziest place you've had sex? There's, would you eat a stick or a cup of sand?
Or a cup of sand?
Yeah, you had to pick either a stick or a cup of sand. I mean, you don't have to answer that. I'm just giving you examples of what kind of prompts are in here.
That was me trying to think of something that would be good. I'm not answering that.
Okay. Freddie said that you wouldn't be able to digest the stick, so you would need to pick the sand.
Why is Freddie hilarious?
I know, he's amazing.
I want to know, what is the worst conference someone's been to and why?
I immediately imagined one of those ones where people dress up in animal outfits and have sex.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, but if they dress up in costume, those are the best conferences I've been to because everyone's so fucking nice. I like to walk through Comic-Con and I'm like, everyone's so
I love
here.
Comic-Con. Okay,
Yeah.
one year I can't even remember what the sci-fi show was, but I was like one of the scientists who was like giving out brochures for a show at Comic-Con, and I had never been before, and now all of a sudden I was like in the thick of it, in a full-blown outfit, like taking pictures with people. It was amazing. Now actually sci-fi is like my favorite genre of movies. like funny sci-fi, like Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh, so
Star
good.
Wars. That is my absolute
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah. You know what? This is enough. Like, what I would just be curious is what people's favorite board games are too. Because
That's
when's
a
the
good
last time
one.
you
I
played
hate board games, but I'm gonna ask them. I have no soul because I hate board games, but I know
Yeah.
other people love them.
My brother loves like the Catan game. Like him and his girlfriend have gotten like really into it, and so many people I know are really into it. But I love Sorry. Like I love Sorry.
I only like ones that have to have like a deep strategy, and I have to be really good at the deep strategy. I don't like ones that are just like, meh. Maybe you went like Candyland, dumb. Like obviously a grown-up's not going to play that now, but like when I would play with the little kids, I'd be like, oh, there's no way I can beat them through strategy. It's just pulling cards.
You must have been a fantastic nanny. So what about Cranium? Cranium's really good.
Cranium's good.
It's a good
I
board game.
still think I don't like ones that you need to like so like Patrick and his brother, they're insanely knowledgeable about pop culture, politics, movie, like they just retain facts. I am not good at those. I don't like those either.
Okay. Yeah. What about like a Guess Who? Well, there's no strategy. There's strategy in Guess Who. Would you consider that a board
I
game?
guess a little bit. I used to have my strategy for what's the game where you like bomb someone else's boat?
Battleship?
Battleship.
Yeah.
I used to have a good strategy for Battleship, like a mathematical one that I really loved, but it probably was outdated by the time I got past 8 years old. I only like games I can win. That's the whole point of this.
Do you watch, do you remember from Big Daddy? Like, I win.
Yes. Yes. I would get so triggered when I would babysit kids and they'd be like, I won, but I won. And I'm like, you didn't win. I won. I took this kid bowling once and even I really tried to lose. And he even had like the ramp where he just put the ball on it and I still won. I was trying so hard to lose and he bawled the whole day. And the mom's like, you're evil. How could you beat him at bowling? Oh man. Okay, Erica, I'm gonna have you pitch food fundamentals again, and I'll edit out the part of me saying this right now.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so because we'll want it, this is a better spot for it. So, Erica,
yes,
you have something awesome happening in the next 2 weeks. What is it, and how can we be involved?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm actually really excited about it. So I have this course. It's called Food Fundamentals, and it's like an online 3-part series that walks through all the fundamentals of food. But I'm gonna do it live now, and I'm like super like help people in real time because there's always follow-up questions and it's unique to you, and I'm actually going to do it over 6 weeks. So it'll be me teaching food fundamentals live over 6 weeks and talking about all the things of what, when, how to eat, what to be on the lookout for. And then I'm going to bring in guests. Freddie doesn't know this, but he's coming on and like other folks to just help flush out some of this stuff that we're all kind of swirling with, especially since in the summer, like people get triggered by like shorts and TikToks and things like that. And I'm like, no, we don't, like, we're going to do the thing. So working with people on that starts like June 12th. And I'm super, super excited about it.
Yay. Okay. So Food Fundamentals, a 6-week live course with you.
With me.
Love it. Okay. And you have a special gift for everybody listening.
I do. So if you guys use the code HUMAN15, you'll get 15% off of the Food Fundamentals program, Food Fundamentals Live. So yeah, I'll give you the sales page or whatever, and then you can just click there. And I'm super pumped about it. It'll be really fun.
Awesome. Okay, so we're also link your website, all your social medias, your podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
The Full Plate.
We didn't even chat about that. Okay, people got to go listen to the Full Plate as well.
There's like the thing is, it's because like it's the same thing with like I don't know. There's when we're talking about just hormones and all of these things and the food stuff. People have so many different expertise that you cannot be an expert at everything. And so like this, like your podcast. Half the reason you have a podcast is because you're like, and what can I learn today?
Yes.
Yes,
that's my favorite is when people come on. I'm just like, but tell me about this, and then teach me about this.
I'm like, I didn't actually plan any of these questions. I'm like just asking for a friend, but like, how's the best way to stretch out your hips?
Okay, so perfect. So we have so many experts in different areas that we can find on your podcast.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, we'll post that too. Erica Ballard, you're the best. Oh, Cass is on. She's totally fine. Erica Ballard, I love you. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.